Okay, well, welcome new stylists. Welcome to our new stylist training for August. Beth Pensabene. You haven't met me yet or met me on Facebook. I am the local director for our Heart of Gold team. And the person who sponsored you is also on our team. So you're on her team, and then the larger team is myself. And then there's an even larger team that's led by Cindy Roadhamel. So you might hear those names. Cindy, you're obviously going to see my name, but you are part of your original upline and these two larger groups. So I just kind of wanted to give you the overview of how it looks. So if you start to see these names, you're like, who are these people? But my name's Beth. I live in Philly. I've lived in Philly my whole life. I am been married for 17 years, and I have 4 kids, twin boys, and then 2 more. And I've been a stylist for 8 years. So hopefully you'll learn some things tonight, some things that I've done right, some things that I've done wrong that I've learned along the way. The most important thing to learn tonight is that even though your upline or your friend or whoever sponsored you, however you want to look at her, she might be your sister, right? Is your direct contact. I'm always here to help as well. If you have any problems, Chris, if there's any problems with my Zoom, will you just give me a thumbs down or thumbs up? Okay. But I'm always here as well too, and you can always find me on Facebook. You can always message me if you have a question, and I'm here to help you as well. So hopefully you have a ton of support. You're off to a great start if you're part of our Zoom, because you're showing that you want to learn, which is great. And there's so many resources for you. So you have your person who sponsored you as your main resource, but you also have the greater network of Stella and Dot stylists. And you have also home office. You have this amazing website now. If you might have been a customer before, you just kind of saw the front of the store. But now that you're a stylist, you get to see the back of the store, and you get to really see all of the ins and outs of how this business works. And there's a lot of great resources. There's a button that says New Stylist Start Here, and there's great information on there. So if you haven't had a chance to look at that yet, if you just joined us today, you know, when you get a chance, when you're sitting in front of the TV and you want to just turn that off for half an hour and spend some time on Stella and Dot, that's a great place to kind of start poking at and looking at and getting some ideas. So that New Stylist button is really important. What I wanted to think about, though, is what drew you into Stella and Dot. It could have been for a lot of different reasons, okay? Some people literally join us because they just see the jewelry and they just fly to it, right? Like a butterfly to a flower, right? You just see it and you want to go to it. Some people join because they want to be fearless. They want to do something that challenges them. Some people just join because, look, they have a car payment that they need to pay, right? And they thought this might be a cool way to do it. So there's all different ways to do it, but I want you to think about why you joined as a stylist, because that's going to be the reason why people are going to be attracted to you and your business, and why you're going to be excited about your business. So I want you to really think about that as you're just a new stylist, as why you joined, because that's really going to fuel you through the next couple months, okay? And if you don't know why you joined, you're like, girl, I was at a trunk show and all I know is that I signed up because I loved everything. That's cool. That was me. I literally was at a trunk show and was a stylist 2 hours later. So I get that. And looking back on it now, thinking about it, I really just wanted to do something for me. I wanted to do something that kind of brought me out of my shell, that I could really call my own, because I had 4 kids under the age of 5, and I want to do something for me. So that kind of drove me in those first couple months to really think about, why am I doing this? You know, what is getting me to this end goal? And it's because I really wanted to succeed at something that was just my own. It was not my family, not my husband, and not my kids. But everybody's got a different why. So I do want you to kind of think about that, because that's something that's going to be important over the next 60 days. So our goal is to really make you profitable right away. You know, you have an investment with you joined us this month. You paid $100, and it was a split payment, so the other $100 has been waived. We want to make sure that you get that $100 paid back, as well as that second piece waived right away. And I want to show you my Stella and Dot Bible for new stylists. It's right here. Isn't it pretty? The Stylist Success Guide. I love this. And if you didn't get it, that's okay, because you can just find it right under that button I was just talking about. That's a new stylist guide. There's a PDF in there, and you can just print it out in grayscale and look through it with everything you need. And I'm going to be referring to it a lot. So this is your number one resource, and that's something that you want to do tonight. And you can even look at it now. You could split screens with me and kind of look at it while we're going through it. But it is truly a good thing for you to look at. So we want you to get profitable right away. We want to make sure you have the tools you need. But what I also want you kind of challenge you to do is to think about social media a little bit, okay? I don't want you to overthink it. I don't want you to kind of go and create a VIP page or anything like that. What I want you just to do is think about just going on Facebook and saying, hey, I'm a Stylist. I love the product. This is my favorite piece. I'm so excited that I just joined this amazing tribe of women, and I just wanted to let you all know. Just kind of put yourself out there. Just put it on your personal page. Maybe share your favorite piece. Maybe if you've gotten your box of goodies already, maybe show what you got. Just show the box. You don't even have to show a picture of yourself. But I do kind of challenge you to do that, to try to put that out there. Why is that important? Because you're going to see the people that are paying attention. And also it's great people to follow up with later, okay? So that's one of our other top tips. The next best tip is to book your own show. And we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. But booking your own show is super, super important, because it's really the meat and potatoes of our business, is having your own show and having your friends over and just kind of showing them what you have. And the reason why is because there's still majority of women don't really know what Stella & Dot is, right? They're like, oh yeah, that's like jewelry. People keep saying to me, isn't that like the Southwestern kind of silver turquoise stuff? Like, people still say that to me. I'm like, no, that's Zapata, and they're out of business, but that's okay. Like, they just don't know, and it's not their fault. I mean, how would they know, right? They've never been to a Stella & Dot show. They've heard about it, but they don't know what it is. So it's really important that you book your own show, because that's when you're going to be able to show the product. You can be able to show your excitement and be able to share what samples propel your business, okay? So with that, I'm going to stop for a second and kind of refer to this book, okay? So in this book, the first page I kind of want to talk about is, I'm going to skip around, but I love it, this page where it says, let's break it down, okay? So I'm talking a little bit about having your own show. It talks about who you are. You're the stylist, right? And what we do is style sessions. Well, you're going to have your own style session where you're the hostess. And what's super cool about that is not only are you going to be able to share it with your friends and family, but you're also going to earn commission and hostess rewards. So that's really important, because you can do that 4 times a year where you can double dip. It's super lucrative. It can totally rack up product credit for hostess credits, and it's also going to earn you Jumpstart credit. So I want you to make sure you pay attention to that page. Hold on. I'm going to go back to this page. The next page I want you to really pay attention to is the Jumpstart credits, okay? So as you have your own show, you're going to also earn your Jumpstart credits. Now, Jumpstart credits can get confusing, but I just want you to think about it this way. For every dollar you sell, for every 1,000 you sell, you're going to get $100 in product credit, okay? But in your first 30 days, you can actually get extra product credit. This month, if you sign up in August, it's even bigger, because you're going to get $200 in product credit when you get 1,000, and you're also going to get an extra 100 that all stylists are participating in this month. So it's kind of a big deal. Now, I just want kind of a show of hands. I know not everybody's on video, but who here signed up in August? Okay, so if you signed up in August, you can, and even if you didn't sign up in August, like I know Sherry signed up in July, you can still take advantage of the extra $100 in credit plus the $200 in Quick Start credit. So it's $300 in credit in August. Just to back up a little bit, people, like we were talking to a new stylist today, that's kind of a big number, right? $1,000 in, your first, I would say before August 31st would be your first 10 days of business. But if you think about it, it's really just 10 orders, right? So even if you book your show next week, it's totally doable. I really encourage you to do that, because the sooner you book and the sooner you have your launch, the sooner you're going to even fill up your September calendar. But you do have 30 days to do that. So you need to know where that is, and that's a super important date to know. It's your quick start end date, and that's something that literally, when I joined, I put a sticky on the back of my phone, I put a sticky on my computer, and I put a sticky on my refrigerator that had my quick start date. And I just, anytime I was talking to anybody about trunk shows, I said to them, I have August 25th or August 28th available, because I knew my quick start ended on the 29th, okay? So you just need to know that date so you know what dates to offer. If you sell $1,000 in your first 3 days and you started in August, you get that second payment waived, right? So you joined for $99 with split payment. The other $100 gets charged if the quick start is not met. Now, I want you to think about it this way, right? So when you joined, typically stylists have to pay $200 to join. Typically stylists get $350 in credit. You got $99 to join and $500 in credit, right? That extra $100 that we charge is just being waived for the 30-day period. If you meet that goal that you're working towards, you don't have to pay it. So that's why I really want you to work towards it. I think it's super feasible. I think it's done through your launch show and through also booking shows from that show and from outside orders, okay? Now, as your jumpstart kind of continues, you're going to continue to earn 10% back. So you really have 60 days to do that. And once you hit, I always try to tell new stylists, go big, right? If you get to 5,000 in sales for your first 60 days, it's actually going to go to 15%. So you're going to get actually more than the 10%. So I always tell new stylists, your goal at a minimum should be $5,000 in 60 days.
You're freezing on us, Beth. We can't hear you.
Yeah, what happened?
Well, it's called the internet, and I have 4 children that are on it at the same time as I am. That's what it's called. And I have no control over these people. They control me. Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Oh, thank you, May. My sweet, sweet May. Okay. So, what I was saying is $5,000 is a big number, right? But if you think about it, you have 60 days for your full jumpstart, right? 30 days, we're going to make sure we take care of that $1,000, but you have 60 days for the full $5,000. That's 5 shows, right? So it's really like, what? Next month. You guys can do that. There's even a higher goal of $10,000. But I want you to just start with the $5,000 goal first. Okay, $5,000 where 1,000 is going to be a minimum in your first 30 days. Totally, totally doable. So don't sell yourself short on that, because I think it's all can do it, and you're going to get tons and tons of product credit back. We know that you got samples in your starter kit, but we want you to just keep loading them on and on and on, so you can continue to build your display. As I take a little sip, who has am I okay? Who has a trunk show booked already? Anybody? That's new? Sherry has a trunk show on Sunday. I know that. Who's this in the pink? Brittany? Brittany has 2 shows in September. I know that. Deanna?
I just booked on Sunday too.
Good job, May.
Hey.
I was gonna say, I have 1 for September.
Who's that?
Deanna.
Oh, hi, Deanna. How are you? How about you, Abby? My Florida girl.
I have 4 booked for September.
Yes. Are they in Jumpstart?
No. They're outside.
No.
But no. My Jumpstart ends on September 6th, I think.
Okay. So we need to move those up.
I know. I tried. I'm still working to try to get 1 more at least in August.
Okay.
Abby's $1,500 away from the $5,000 mark.
From 10,000?
No, from the 5,000.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
She's like a show away from that, so
Okay.
she knows she'll do it.
So what Kristen just said is that Abby is at 3,500 in sales for her Jumpstart, and 1,500 more is going to get her to that 5,000. When she gets to 5,000, her product credit goes from 10% back to 15% back. So we need to do a couple things. I'm glad that we brought this up. It ends September 6th, so we can definitely book another show by then. I mean, you can book a show within the week, right?
Right.
My best shows are booked within 10 days, just letting you girls know, because it's less of a chance to cancel, and I have better RSVPs because people know what they're doing.
Right.
So if today's the 22nd, yeah, through September 2nd, right? That's the best time to book. So definitely still time to book. And like just picking up an order each day. I had a great call with Brittany and Kelly earlier today. And we were talking about, you know, like if life is a little busy right now and you can't have a show this weekend, that's cool. I get it, you know, but it's a great time to have back to school shopping, right? Why not just reach out to some friends with some of your favorite things? You have your kit and you have your items that you picked out. Just share a couple of your items, you know, with them by taking a picture of it, or post on social media on your personal page that you joined our tribe, and anybody that liked that post, you can follow up with. She just talks about outside orders, and that order can always be the first order on their show too. So keep that in mind. But I love that goal, Abby. We're cheering you on. Just so you know, Florida is a hot spot, and I want to come visit you. I put you as a star on my map today. So
All right. I'm right across the street from the beach, Beth.
Well, I love the beach.
There you go.
My dermatologist doesn't like that, but I like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll work on it.
I know. Just sunscreen. I just have to keep putting on the sunscreen over and over and over. Okay. So we've talked about Jumpstart. The best thing for you to do is to print out this PDF. If you didn't get it, it's page 7. Okay. And it shows here exactly what the percentages are and what you get back. Okay. And we're going to talk about the sponsoring piece, but I just want to talk about the sales piece right now. Now, the good news is, not on top of all that, no matter what you do, you're going to earn 25%. So if you sold a $100 necklace today, you got $25 in your account, and we get paid weekly, which is awesome, right? Now, if you hit $2,500 in a month, which Abby, who's a new stylist, is over $3,000 at this point for this month, she gets a 5% bonus in cash. Okay. Sherry, who's on the heels of 2,500 and has her show on Sunday, is going to get to 2,500. She's a new stylist. She's going to have 5% bonus in cash. So be inspired by these women. What are they doing? They had their launch and they had their show with their mom or their sister or their best friend. Right? Right, Sherry? And what's cool about what Sherry did is that she's like, look, I can't, like nobody can come on Thursday, August 15th. Everybody's crazy busy. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out my stuff for 4 days, and I'm going to just tell people to come over every day. And Sherry, what did that show end up being? Your own show. Oh, I'll mute you. Sorry.
I don't even remember what it was. I think like 16. I'm not certain though.
1,600 in sales?
I think it was close, something around there. I have to look at the Jumpstart, but yeah, no, it might have been more than that.
And you're in the process of moving, and you literally had the stuff like laying on boxes, right?
Yes, and there's 3 people in my house right now too, so it's constant chaos wherever I am. See?
Whoa.
Hold on, I'm trying to mute.
FaceTime a lot better.
Oh, is that you with maybe that's you with the chaos.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is. Melina, be quiet. Yeah, it's definitely me with the chaos, constant chaos.
So what I love about that is she's like, look, I'm in the middle of moving, and I also nobody can come to my launch, so I'm just going to put my stuff out and have people come over for a glass of wine all throughout the week. I'm girl, do it. Love it. Get creative. And she had $1,600 in orders. And guess who her next show was with? Her mom. That was pretty easy to book your mom, right? And so her goal is to get to 2,500 this month so she can get her power bonus. And she's doing it, right? So it's not, I know it sounds like, it sounds daunting, doesn't it? But if you kind of like pick it apart and think about a little bit creatively how you can do it, it's so, so, so doable. Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about the confident close. Kristen, can you hear me okay? Okay. So girls, if you are here and you're on this Zoom in August, August is not like the highest retail sales month of the year, right? Because it's just not. It's, being honest with you, it's no November. It's no Mother's Day. It's not the highest retail sales of the year. It's just the way it is. But women are shopping. And I know that because I've sold over $6,000 in August. And let me tell you, every girl that I'm selling to, I've not sold to my mom. I've not sold to my sister. I'm just selling to people who want to shop. And every single person that wants to shop right now is telling me, I don't want to go to the mall. I don't want to shop online. I typed in, you know, we were talking about this today. I typed in black top on Nordstrom and like 3,000, like, you know, 3,000 things came up and I got overwhelmed. They don't know what to do online. They don't know what to do at the mall. They want somebody to help them. They want personal service. You know, some people have tried Stitch Fix and they're like, I got Stitch Fix, but then guess what? They send me the same floral print every time that I told them I don't like florals, you know? They're like, they're not listening to me. I want somebody to listen to me. And that's where we are going to shine. We are going to shine because we are providing personal service. We have a great product for a great price, a great quality, versatility, customer service, and they have us, right? So I feel like the time is now for us. I mean, down. I feel bad for work there. I mean, when Toys R Us closed down, are you losing me? Okay. When Toys R Us closed down, I was like, crap, I've got like 75 Toys R Us gift cards in my drawer. I've got to go spend. I mean, it's crazy, right? Things are changing. So this is your time to really scoop up this opportunity and use the confident close. So I'll give you an example. When somebody says to you, like you say, oh, you know, I never ask somebody to do a show, right? Because that sounds like I'm asking them to do something for me when actually I'm doing something for them, right? I'm coming to their house. I'm setting up my boutique. I'm delighting everybody, and then I'm gifting them with jewelry. So I'm helping them. So I always like to say things like, I'm super excited about the pieces that I got. I would love to show you. I think you would love the Zoe necklace. You can wear it 5 ways. I would love to show your friends and family, and you can also treat yourself to a few things. Do you have August 27th or 29th available, right? And women's natural response, including mine, you should see the poor PTA lady when she asks me to do something. I'm always like, before she even finishes her answer, I'm like, I can't do that. I can't do that. Like my natural example, especially when she calls me, I'm like, no, I can't. Like that's our natural response, right? The last thing we want to do is add something else to our list, right? Who the hell wants to do that? I sure don't, right? So people are just going to naturally say no. And I get a ton of no's. And I get a ton of crickets. And the most successful people at Stella & Dot get a ton of no's and a ton of crickets. And it's okay. It's okay. I'm telling you right now. And I'm also going to tell you that when I finally do book with people, even though they've given me 75 no's or 75 crickets, when I finally do book with them, I always ask them, so what was it that finally made you say yes? I need to know. And they're like, Beth, oh my gosh, when you reached out to me, my dog was really sick and I couldn't even wrap my head around anything. Or it was because we just moved, or because, we started a new program for my child. It's always something that's really important, and I wasn't important at that time. And it wasn't that they didn't necessarily like me or necessarily like Stella & Dot. It was just life, right? And when they finally, because I'm always consistently following up, when they say no to me or crickets, I always just follow them up with them up again. Like I give them a couple chances, and then it's a no. Wait for the next line to come out, and then I follow up. Maybe it's a no again. Then I wait again. And finally, when they book, they're like, oh, Beth, thank you so much for being patient, because my life has been insane, but I've been dying to do this, right? So it never has anything to do with us. But the confident close is important, and I'll tell you why. So somebody says, like the PTA lady asked me, and I say no. And then she says, okay, and she hangs up, right? I'm like, oh, God, I got out another year of not having to do the pretzels. Thank the Lord, right? Another year, I don't have to do it. And if she would say to me, well, Beth, let's talk about it. Let's think about it. I would probably be like, all right, I can totally do the pretzels. I mean, how hard can it be, right? I would totally do it. But somebody needs to walk me through it, and she's not doing that with me. So what I do with my potential hosts is, like, I'm crazy busy. I'm like, dude, I get it. Like, I'm crazy busy too. I totally get it. What I have found is that when you can just carve an hour or two for yourself with your friends, okay? Okay, an hour or two yourself with your friends and have a glass of wine, and girl, I do all the work. I even send the Evite out. All you got to do is just add your friends. You're going to have so much fun, and your friends are going to have fun. And then we can treat you to some really fun goodies that it'll be so fun to have for fall. She's like, I could totally do that. I have my friends over for wine anyway. You see what I'm saying? You see the difference? But our natural reaction when somebody says no is totally get it, no problem, and we hang up. Because we don't want to be pushy. But let me ask you this. Was my response pushy? Right. So when people say to me, even when I say give the confident close, and they still say, no, Beth, the time's not right now, I say, totally understand. I'll follow up with you again another time. I get it. But at least I tried. And most of my bookings that I have is because I tried. Most of my bookings are not people saying yes up front. And as a new stylist, that can be scary, but I promise you, practice it in the shower, practice it in the car. The words to say again, when somebody says, oh, I'm too busy, I totally understand, because we do. But what I found is just getting a few friends together, having a glass of wine, and everybody getting to see the line is so much fun. You'll be able to see the pieces that I was showing you before that you loved, and I can also treat you to some goodies, okay? Just practice it. And it's not going to be perfect. Sometimes I hang up. Sometimes I'm like, oh, well, I just sounded so stupid. Like, I'm not always great at what I say. I don't say it right all the time. But 9 out of 10 times, nobody notices, and it's not a big deal. Practice makes perfect. So just be confident and put yourself out there. Okay. So what's the tried and true number for everybody? You're going to book a show with your mom. Sherry booked a show with her mom. Right? That's pretty easy, right? We're hoping that the moms and the sisters say yes. I mean, some don't. I've never had a show with my mom. Can you believe that? Never. I finally signed up my sister as a stylist, but it took 7 years to sign her up, okay? And she's on our team, but it took 7 years. So it's not always your mom, but there's that one person that's going to have the show, right? That's easy, right? But then the next show might be a little harder. So Sherry is still working on those next shows, right, Sherry? And she's getting a lot of, I'm on vacation, my floors are getting redone, all that kind of stuff that we hear. But what I've learned is that this happened to me as a new stylist, I kept on going back to the same 5 people. I'm like, these 5 people need to have shows, and I'm just going to keep asking these 5 people until they say yes. That's not the way to do it. It's all numbers, right? If you reach out to 10, you'll book 1. So you have to make a big list. You really do. Because your mom may have a show, but then to have your next show, remember, we want to get to that $5,000 mark, which is going to be about, and we want to make sure that 1,000 of it's in your first 30 days. Okay, 1,000 of it's in your first 30 days. We need to make sure that we reach a lot of people. So there's another page in this book that I love. It's on page 14, and it's called the Who Do You Know list, okay? And it really gives you some good ideas. So it says like your immediate family, your acquaintances, your outside circle, professional, under professionals, coaches, realtors, dentists, hairstylists. There's a lot of people on our team that have had shows with their dentists, a lot. So don't forget about your dentist. I've had a show with my realtor. I've had a show with a teacher. I have not had a show with a coach yet. I need to work on that. I have a lot of male coaches, but I'm going to work on that. Maybe their wives. Your outside circle might just be people who love to shop, like people you see on Facebook and Instagram who love to shop. It could be retail shops. It could be empty nesters, people who, their kids just went off to college this year and maybe need to fun it out with their girls. Acquaintances could be anybody on your holiday card list. I love that. I did that. And I forgot about all these people that I invited to, because I took my wedding list. Did you guys do this? You take your wedding list and then you make that your holiday card list for all us married girls. That's what I did. And I was like, that girl only gave me $25 for our wedding. She needs to have a show. Come on. I'm not going to tell you who, Kelly, because you were at my wedding. I'm not going to tell you who. But honestly, like, look at your holiday card list and say that might jog some people who, you haven't thought of because they're not on Facebook, or maybe they're not very active on Facebook, so you don't think about them often. They're not at your bus stop. They're not at your gym. They're not at your work, but they're on your holiday card list. Your junior league club, your neighborhood club, your mom's group, your play group. Think of those people, and I want you to write them all down in these 4 squares. Okay? I really challenge you to do that because I still have my original list from 8 years ago. It's a live working list that I cross out and move around and circle and highlight, but it's really important that you do that exercise, because what's going to happen when you do that exercise is when you're not going to just focus on those 5 people. Like, you're like, I want to have a show with my 2 friends from college, my 2 friends from high school, and my neighbor. No, you can, but you need to go bigger than that. Okay, you need to go bigger than that, because we're going to get you to your 5,000, and by doing that, of those 5 girls that you really reach out to, you might only get 1. So we need to make a bigger list. Okay. I do typically use email. Okay. 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 So I don't use email because, why are you laughing, Kelly? Am I frozen? Kelly's delirious. She hasn't been home in 3 weeks. She's out of her mind. I don't use email because I feel like people don't see it. So I use a lot of either calling, texting, or Facebook messaging. But the beautiful thing is when you thinking, as you're a new stylist right now, you're thinking, oh my God, I got to reach out to 40 people. Like, I don't have time for that. I work full time, and I have kids, and I have a husband, and I have dogs, or I have a partner, or I have a restaurant. I don't have time to reach out to 40 people. All you got to do is copy and paste and change the name at the top. Right? If you get your kit of jewels that you love, right? And this is your favorite piece, which is one of my favorite pieces, is the Zoe. I sell a Zoe at every show. And this comes in your kit, right? You're going to take a picture of yourself with the Zoe on, okay? And you're just going to share it with 40 people. You love the Zoe, so it could be, hi, Amy. I just got my Stella & Dot goodies. I'm so excited. This is the Zoe necklace. It's my favorite. I would love to show it to you and all my other goodies I just got. I'm so excited to be a stylist, and I would love for you to be one of my very first hostesses. It would be so much fun, and we could, spoil you with goodies. Now, your upline can help you tweak those words and write those words, but that's the gist of it. But you can copy and paste, and that can be done to 40 people in 10 minutes. So when you say you don't have time to do it, you have time to do it. Once you build that list might take a half an hour, but it won't take more than 10 minutes to copy and paste. So you do have time to do it. If that's overwhelming to you, I get it. You could just do a couple people a day. But make sure you have a system, right? Because what happens when we just say, this is what I hear a lot from new stylists. I'm so excited to be a stylist. I'm going to see how it goes. Right, Sherry? Sherry said that to me, and I remember. You're like, I'm going to see how it goes. I'm like, oh no, that's not the way we do things here. You're with me now, girl. We're going to do things right. We're not going to see how it goes, because guess what happens when people see how it goes? Nothing. Right? The way to earn back your investment and be profitable, waive the extra $100, earn tons of product credit, is to take action. And taking action is reaching out to people, putting one post on social media, following up with people who like it, reaching out to your 40 people on your list, sharing the pieces you love. That is what's going to build your business. That's how you're going to move forward. So I really challenge you to do that. Kelly, you're still laughing. What? I need to know why. All right, well, you have to text me later. I hope I don't have something on my face. Do I? Okay. Well, while we're on you, Kelly, since I'm going to put you on the spot, you and I today were talking about no's and objections. Why don't you give us, while I take some water, why don't you fill us in on that?
Overcoming objectives?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm going to build off of what you said with building your list. So just a little tip that I did that I thought was really helpful. I haven't actually gone back to it. I need to go back to it. I haven't gone back to it in a little while, but I actually went on Facebook, and I like the holiday list too, and went and wrote down every single woman's name and their city and state, so that also when I'm out of town, I have somebody I can quickly refer to book a show if I want to do that while I'm out of town. So keep that in mind as you're traveling too, if you can carve out 3 hours or whatever the case is when you're out of town. So overcoming objections. So I think this was a really, really helpful tip that Beth, you gave when I first started. And it's really remembering that people aren't saying no to you, and to kind of come up with like, okay, trying to figure out why they're saying no without being creepy about it, right? And trying to help solve that problem for them. You know, if it's that they're super busy, or they're worried that their house is too dirty, or that their kids are going to be home, or that their dog or whatever, to kind of trouble shoot that for them. And again, taking a lot of the work out for them. I'm going to create this. I'm going to send it to you. Literally, you just have to add the email addresses. Same thing with the initial kind of reaching out. If you're getting crickets, remembering that you got to reach out 4 times, which sounds like it's too much. But I know sometimes people have to reach out to me multiple times before I respond. And it's just because I accidentally checked when I was at a red light, or I intend to do it now and my kid's calling me the other room and I totally intend to get back. But again, life happens. So give your friends the benefit of the doubt that they're not ignoring you, that just life is happening around them. So following them, say, hey, just wanted to check to make sure you got my message. Wanted to see what you thought. Following up a 3rd time, maybe with something new to say each time. And then closing the loop that last time so that it's not awkward when you run into them in the street or in the grocery store or on the ball field. Because you don't want it to be ever awkward. This is supposed to be fun and joyful. So I don't know. That's kind of the power of 4 is very, very helpful.
I love that, Kelly, because it's all about your mindset too. I have been around a lot of other jewelry companies, direct sale jewelry companies, and I have to tell you that we blow everyone out of the water. The quality, the design. As you guys may not know this yet, but everything that we have is hypoenergetic, lead-free, nickel-free. Everything is designed in-house. So a lot of different jewelry companies will literally pick pieces off of a line and then put everything together to make a piece. But we actually sketch and mold and carve, and the prints are done by artists, so everything is actually designed in-house. And then once we have the perfect piece, we get it manufactured. I was talking about with Stylist today, where they manufacture. They're manufactured all over the world to make sure that we have ethical practices for the people working in those places. So when you sell this product, you have to remember that you are different than everybody else. That's the mindset, right? So number 1, they go to a mall, they're not getting service. They're not getting personal service. They go online, they're confused, right? And half the time they're not buying the same quality and have the same personal service and customer service. So that mindset that you're going to have is going to give you the confidence to have the confident close, to be able to follow up. Because the reason why follow-up is important, my dentist will literally follow up with me 7 times. And then they call me the day of. And when I answer it, they're like, it's your dentist appointment is today. And I'm like, oh my God, thank God you called me, because I forgot. You know what I mean? I put it on my calendar, but it's not a priority for me. Even though my teeth need to be cleaned, it's not a priority. So, it's important to follow up. It's 2018, right? It's just the way it is. So, you kind of just have to put that in your mindset. You have something amazing to offer, and that follow-up is just part of the business. Okay, so now we're all shooting for 5,000 in sales, right? Sherry, eye contact. I'm just kidding. But you're going to get there. I know it. We're all shooting for 5,000 in sales, which would be 15% back. But let me tell you about my favorite part of this business is bringing along a friend. Okay. And as a new stylist, it's even more fun because you could bring your sister along and you guys could share jewelry. You could go to each other's shows. It could be a really fun thing to do with one of your best friends or anything like that. I did not sponsor right away because I was worried that I don't know what I'm doing. How am I going to bring somebody along? And I don't even know like what anything's made of. I don't even know what the names of things are. I don't even know how to put an order in. How am I going to bring somebody on my team? Well, the good news is that when they join your team, they join the larger team. And so we all help. We all pitch in. We have all these resources to help you. So you don't need to know everything. And as a side note, I don't know the name of any of the jewelry. We have this amazing app, Dottie, which you can find in the lounge under the new Stylist guide, which actually scroll through it. Somebody's like, I like this. And I'm like, okay, well, this is it. And then I click on it. It tells me how much and what it is and what's named. So I don't know the name. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about that little stuff. That's easy to do. But bringing a friend along is really fun because you're going to be doing it with a friend. And what I love about it is that Stella and Dot knows how important it is for you to bring a friend along, because guess what happens when you bring a friend along in your first 60 days? You have fun and you stay with us longer, because once you have your friend with you, you get some no's or some crickets and you start thinking, I'm not good at this, or I can't do this anymore. But no, I can't do that because I brought my best friend with me and we're in this together, right? So it keeps you accountable and you have more fun and you feel invested. So it's super important to do that, and Stella and Dot knows that, right? So they can give you a ton of product credit for doing it. And if you have a show and she has a show the same month, you basically promote and get a cash bonus too. So how easy is that? So Sherry's trying to sponsor her friend Amy, and Sherry's already at basically, what, $1,600 in sales. So if her friend joins before the end of the month and sells $500, Sherry's going to get $800 in product credit and a cash bonus. So it's not huge numbers. You don't have to do huge things. You literally just need to have a show, and your friend needs to have a show, and it happens. So again, the reason why Stella and Dot is willing to invest all that in you is because they know how worthwhile it is. And your natural reaction as a new stylist is not to do it because you don't know what you're doing. But when your upline who sponsored you knows that you sponsored somebody else. So Abby, has Abby sponsored yet, Kristen? I can't see her anymore. Okay. So Abby, who's going to sponsor somebody this month for sure, right? Because she's already sold over $3,000. So she's met 30 people. I'm sure one of those. What's that?
She has been warming people up, so
Nice.
she's got people in line.
Right, but guess what? Guess who's going to help Abby's new stylist? Kristen, right? So that's how it works. And if Kristen decides to go to Africa for a week, guess who's going to help Abby's new stylist? Kristen's upline Lauren, or me. That's why there's this whole network of people, okay? There's all these people to help. So you don't have to worry. We are here to help you. I would never, ever, ever, I've been here for 8 years. A couple of girls on this Zoom have been with me for years and years. There is support, right? Don't shy away from bringing a friend along. I think it's super, super important. And it's super lucrative too, because guess what? Your team grows and you also earn coaching commissions off of them. It's all back here too, in the back of this book, okay? So I'm not gonna go through, it's 9:20. I'm not gonna go through every single page on this book because you can do that, right? But I want you to download it. I want you to read it. I want you to talk about it with your upline. If you haven't scheduled your new stylist training with your upline, do that. It shouldn't take longer than a half an hour, but you definitely should do that before you do anything else. If your upline's not available, you and I can chat one-on-one. Reach out to me on Facebook. But that's the basics of it, guys. Reach out to 10 to book 1, right? Reach out to 40 to book 4. Have your own show. Sell $5,000 in 60 days. Make sure 1,000 of it's in your first 30 days. And bring a friend along. Any questions? Any comments? Any comments from Allison? Sponsored 2 people this month, right, Allison? 1? So, wait, you're on mute. I can't get you off mute. Hello? Oh, I lost you. Well, what I wanted to say is Allison sponsored for the first time. I can't unmute you for some reason. I don't know why. I'll talk for you. She sponsored her first stylist. And I just love how how much you loved sponsoring somebody, right? I mean, just give a thumbs up. This was your first stylist you sponsored. You were a little nervous. Wait, so you had 1 or 2 this month?
Can you guys hear me?
Oh, now I can.
Okay. So I sponsored my first stylist in my Jumpstart, actually.
Okay.
My sister-in-law, and we had a blast together doing it. Then she went back to school and just didn't need to take some time off. But I sponsored a really cool lady that I've known for years. She's taking care of my 4-year-old daughter, Jocelyn, she's a teacher at the CACC Montessori School, and she just joined. She's on the Zoom tonight. So hi, Cece. But yeah, it's a lot of fun to do it with people. And I have like 4 other girls that are thinking about coming on. So way more fun to do it with friends. For sure.
And I just love seeing your smile when you sponsored her. I just loved hearing your joy from you, just bringing along somebody that you were excited about and how much fun it is. So I think it's just a whole nother level of fun. I know for me, I love the sales part of Stylist, but I love hanging out with you guys the most. That's my like number one fun thing. I mean, we just went to our national convention, and I mean, I don't think I slept for 4 days because I was having too much fun. So, I mean, it's a great place to be, right? I mean, Jen, who's on here, Jen, I'm unmuting you, DeSantis. Jen came back from Hoopla and booked 4 or 5 shows. Jen, do you have any tips for these new stylists?
Basically just everything you've been saying. Keep at it. Don't get discouraged because you don't hear back from someone or someone says not right now, because it's so true about sometimes no is the beginning of a yes. So just know what you're doing is awesome. Don't doubt yourself. Don't think you're bothering people. I initially, before, I think going to Hoopla really made me appreciate Stella Dot more and kind of hold more pride in what I'm doing as a stylist, and not just looking at it as another direct sales company that is annoying or basically that. Like, I think I was first going into it like I'm bothering people. I don't want people to think I'm like so into myself, posting selfies, or I'm conceited or any of these things. But I just, after Hoopla, I literally just like threw all of those prejudgments out the window. And I just came into it with a different mindset. And I really feel like I am actually offering people something like amazing opportunity. I'm not bugging them anymore. It's actually, I feel like if someone had come at me before I was a stylist and offered this to me, I always say this too to my husband. I'm like, I don't understand, because if someone came to me and was like, hey, Jen, you want to have like an awesome girls' night? I would have been like, yeah, let's do it. But he's like, but other people have different ways of thinking. They're scared for whatever reason. Like, you have to think about other people's insecurities, why they're not answering you, why they're saying no. So just go into it with an open mind and really be positive and feel like you are offering these women an amazing opportunity. And I promise you it will happen.
That's awesome, because it just comes down to mindset. It really does. And once you see, like, I have customers and stylists. I have stylists who've reached out to me that said, you know, I was in a really unhappy marriage, and I've been able to use my Stella Dot money to get out of that marriage and be able to, you know, move on. And I've had stylists tell me that they were in really bad credit card debt, and they've been able to use that money to, you know, pay that off. I've had customers reach out to me who have told me that they haven't felt great about themselves, and they got their Hello Gorgeous box and it made their day. These are the messages that I get, right? So you can only imagine the cup that gets filled for me, right? Because it's so much more than an accessories, tops, bag company. It's a company that does provide all that, but also provides a ton to women for their personal life, and just people who just want to feel pretty and have a great day and get a new sweater and be excited about it, right? So there's all these levels of the company that I've gotten feedback back from that you will too. So just keep that. That's what gets me. When I get a couple no's, I don't even remember who my crickets are. People are like, well, how many crickets do you have? I'm like, I have 1 million. I mean, I don't even keep track. But I do remember the stylist that called me that said, you know, that she just took her family to Disney World. That I remember. I know who that is, and I know what day she called me. You know, that's the things I remember. So it's what you focus on. It's what you think about. And And if you can learn that early on, you're going to have huge success here. Okay. Well, thanks everybody. I'm out of time. If you have any questions, let me know. Any comments? Like I said, go to that new Stylist button in the lounge, play around with that. Download the PDF that you can find on there that's called the new Stylist Guide, or that's called the Stylist Success Guide. And I'll see you guys on Facebook, if not sooner. Thanks, everybody.